Hi, my name is VJ Africa. I'm the Managing Director of Eurekloud Corporation. Eurekloud is a boutique firm that basically invests in startups. We do three things for startups. Number one is we provide ideation, so that's coaching, mentoring. We help them build their business. We also provide infrastructure, which means we provide them with back-end support, such as HR, accounting, financial, and even some legal assistance as well. And of course, a lot of startups need cash, so we also provide investment. So in the form of some seed money that helps them for 1 or 2 years. Eurekloud's vision is to provide, again, startups with the necessary support for them to scale up. There's a lot of startups in the Philippines that need a lot of assistance, a lot of help, a lot of support. And what we hope to do is identify these really fantastic and interesting startups and provide them with the support for them to scale up. That's a very interesting question, simply because there are many formal definitions. For me, a startup is something that's exciting, interesting, something new. From a business standpoint, it has to be fast-growing and it has to be scalable. At the end of the day, for many companies, it has to be something that has an exit strategy. Again, for me, the core there is really something fun and exciting and something we can build together. It's important to help startups because ideas, to a certain extent, are cheap. And the most important thing for ideas is to move into an execution stage, for them to be viable, and then for them to go through, again, the whole cycle of being an idea to eventually being a business. So there are many startups in the Philippines, and it's really important to help them so that we can differentiate and we can really improve the startup ecosystem in the country. The core of Eurekloud essentially consists of around 4 people. We work very closely together in a sense that I'm the evangelist, so I'm always excited. I'm always looking out and sniffing new opportunities. My business partner is a bit more structured, and he'll hate me for saying this, but he manages and he controls my enthusiasm and my excitement. We also have an operations manager that basically helps us help the startups. And last but not least, we have a member who's very good in finance, so he helps us with making sure that we are investing the right amount of money for the right startups. Hopefully in 5 years, we would have maybe around 25 to 30 startups. And to a certain extent, that might sound like a low number, especially for certain accelerators or VCs. But we really want to look for startups that we want to grow with. So it's not just pure quantity. We don't just jump on any and every opportunity. We want to make sure that, number one, we like the business, we're very interested in them. And secondly is that we have similar values with the founders themselves. I am motivated by people. I love working with people. I like helping people. When we invest in startups, it's normally the idea that catches our attention, but what makes us essentially jump into the situation and really commit ourselves is the person. So we're still in the people business, and that is definitely a source of motivation. Seeing someone succeed and knowing that you helped throughout that process is just an amazing experience. So there's 3 things, and I hope I do remember them. I'm a fan of animation, so I love what Dory keeps on saying in the Finding Dory and Finding Nemo movie, which is just keep swimming. That's definitely something for entrepreneurs to think about. Don't give up. Something that's very similar to, I think, what Steve Jobs said. Always be curious. Don't stop wanting to learn new things, and being always asking questions. I think that's important. And last but not the least, very important for startups, especially for startup founders, is always be hustling. Always look for opportunities, always be on the move. This is probably the longest I've sat in quite a while because I'm always moving, I'm always on the phones, I'm always talking to people, meeting people. So always be hustling is another piece of advice. I would say the mornings because I love the peace and quiet just to organize my thoughts. Time management. Too many hats to wear. I eat a lot of food to relax and de-stress, which I do too often. I would say an eagle. I'm a bit of a free spirit, and I'd love to fly and look at stuff from that view. When I was a kid, it was ghosts, but now I'm afraid of failure. I would spend time with my family. I would say Jesus Christ, simply because I would probably have a gazillion questions to ask. I say yes too often. Coffee. I love the taste, I love the caffeine, although I am a big fan of green tea soy latte. An app that could, and this is going to sound really socialist, but an app that could take excess from people who don't know how to handle excess and pass them to people who actually need them the most.